Hello viewers, the main objective of this lecture is to make students aware of the most important form of Shiva, the greatest god of Hindu mythology. He has numerous forms, but Sadashiva is one of the significant so far his iconographic traits are concerned. Here he has been seen in ancient Indian texts as well as in Indian arts. Sadashiva is the formless, subtle, luminous, all-pervading, the Supreme Being, not contaminated by any qualities and above all actions. It is from this Supreme Being that all else have their origin, being and end at his will. Sadashiva has been idealized in a material form for the benefit of devotees, and the description of Sadashiva appears in the Agamas and the Puranas. The five faces of Sadashiva representing Tatpurusha, Aghora, Vamadeva, Sadyojata and Ishna are collectively known as Panch Brahmas, and they are regarded, these heads, as symbolizing the soul, material world, buddhi, ahamkar and the mind. Shri Shankaracharya pays his obeisance to Lord Shiva, says, I glorify the five-faced Shiva, the ever blissful ruler of gods, the all-pervading protector of the universe, the reliever of the distress of gods, who has ashes for the ornament of his body, has an odd number of eyes, who has the moon, the sun and fire for his three eyes. The Rupa Mandana, an important text of 15th century AD, gives details about 3, 1 and 4-faced Mukhalingas. In a one-faced linga, the face should be depicted in front, and in a three-faced one, the back face is missing. In a four-faced linga, the western face is white, the northern red, the southern black and terrific, while the eastern face has the color of well-kindled fire. The five faces represent the fire aspects of Shiva, namely Sadyojata, Vamadeva, Aghora and Tatpurusha. The fifth face of Ishna is beyond the ken even of the yogis. The Vishnu Dharmottara Purana represent that Sadyojata, which faces west, is of pearl-like color of the full moon and represents earth, Prithvi. Vamadeva faces north, has red color and represents water, Jal. Aghora, which faces south, is dark blue and represents fire, Agni. Tatpurusha faces east, has golden yellow color and represents air, Vayu, and Ishna, facing upwards, has crystal white color and represents the sky, Akash. These heads are also individually known as Mahadeva, Bhairava, Nandi Vaktra, Uma Vaktra, and Sadashiva, also known as Ishna. The 10 arms of the god, representing 10 directions, carry various attributes. The earliest representation of such a form of Shiva is found in the Shiva Linga from Bhita of 2nd century BC, now in State Museum, Lucknow. This image has 5 faces and contains one inscription. In the Kushana art of Mathura, the Shiva Linga is like the sacrificial post with a flower garland wound round it at the top. It has 4 faces. These heads differently have Ushnisha, a Jatamukta, the shaven head and curly hair. One of the earliest Sadashiva Murti of 9th century AD belongs to Pallava Chola traditional period. Most of the arms of the deities are mutilated, and in the surviving right hand he holds a damru, a sword and Abhay Mudra. Images of Sadashiva from North India, except Bengal, were not popular. The first life-size sculpture from Khajuraho is shown seated in Sukh Asana with the left leg double and the right pendant and resting on a lotus issuing from an inscribed base. The image has 3 visible faces. He wears a necklace, Yajanopavita, dhoti and Shri Vatsa. Seated figure of bearded Brahma and headless Vishnu are shown on right and left side, respectively, flanking the nimbus of Sadashiva. Some figures are shown on the pedestal. A badly mutilated image in the Kendriya Mahadeva temple at Khajuraho shows a multi-armed god with his front right hand held in gift bestowing attitude. The central face has 2 other crowned faces on its either side. He has 4 legs. It can be assigned the Chandela period, 10th century AD. A unique image of Sadashiva from eastern UP can be seen in the State Museum, Lucknow. He is pot-bellied god. His 3 faces are visible and is seated in Bhadra Asana on a high seat. He is wearing wooden sandals in his feet. He is 10-armed. His awe-inspiring face is adorned with a beard and mustaches. His one right hand is broken while the other carry a sword. Vakhyan Mudra with a rosary, a lotus and a manuscript. The 2 surviving left hands carry a pasha and a kamandalu. A male attendant and other figures are shown on either side of the god. Besides Jatamukta are Sarpa Yajnopavita, a Yogapata is tied around his knees. Dhanvir Art Museum, Dhanvir, Chu possesses the image of Sadashiva with consort. The 3 faces of the god are Bhairava, Mahadeva and Uma Vaktra are visible. One similar image of Sadashiva is also in the collection of the Gwalior Museum. The god is ten-armed and holds a trident entwined by a cobra, a cup, a rosary, and taking out an arrow from the quiver. His spouse is seated on the left thigh and joyfully looking towards him. Images of Ganesh and Kartikeya are shown on right and left of their parents, and Nandi is shown in front. It belongs to the Pratihara period, 11th century AD. Vaidyanatha Mahadeva temple at Patan in North Gujarat has Sadashiva in marble. It belongs to the Chalukyan period, circa 11th century AD. He carries his usual attributes. His Vahana is shown in front on the inscribed base. Brahma and Vishnu are carved on either side of his halo. Sadashiva was quite popular in Bengal during the rule of the Pala and Sena dynasties. A large number of Sadashiva from Bengal are found in several museums. These are made of metal and stone. One of notable images in bronze is in the collection of VRS Museum, Rajshahi. The deity is seated cross-legged on a double lotus pedestal with bull depicted in front. His four faces are visible and has 10 arms with usual attributes. The four heads with high jatas wear three pronged tiras, which is very common in the sculptures of the Pala period. Worship Sadashiva was popular during the Pala and Sena period in Bengal. The Sena kings were Bharma Shiva and propagated Shaivism. Several copper plates and grants and seals are the best evidences. Some of fine sculptures of late Pallas are displayed in the VRS Museum, Rajshahi. One image of Sadashiva here has Urdhva Linga, which represents spiritual and physical balance. The same can be noticed in some of the images from Mathura and Kausambi. In Ashutosh Museum, Calcutta, the images of the goddess Ganga and Yamuna with Purana Ghatas in their hands are shown standing as attendants. After the Muslim conquest of Bihar and Bengal in the 13th century AD, the local artists migrated to Nepal and influenced their art. Several images of Sadashiva in bronze and stone have been found from Himachal of the late medieval period. One image of the god in bronze is in the collection of National Museum, New Delhi. His four heads are visible. His front left hand is in the attitude of protection, while the other carries an antelope. It can be dated to circa 16th century AD. One more image of Sadashiva in the collection of National Museum is made of bronze. It is also from Chamba, Himachal Pradesh. Images of Sadashiva are also known from South India too. Mostly the god Shiva is shown seated on a tiger skin. He holds various attributes in his hands. His consort, known as Manunani, is seated on the left thigh facing the Lord. The typical lotus seat, the stylized figure of the divine couple and their mounts are the common features. The five-headed god in the State Museum Lucknow is seated cross-legged on a lotus with his front right hand in Abhay Mudra, and in the other hands he carries a trident, a vajra, a khadga and a parshu, while his left hands carry a distinct object, Agni, a ghanta, a pasha, a sarpa. A crescent moon referred in the Bilhari inscription of the Chechi king Yuvaraja Deva II as a nectar red, unique flower in the hand of Shiva's matted hair is also represented on one of his heads. It is interesting to note that the worship of Sadashiva was quite popular in the early Shunga period, 2nd century BC. The above mentioned images provides us evidence for the same. In the Kushana period, the worship of the Chaturmukha Linga, having a circular top which also represented the 5 aspects of the Lord, became a common way of worship. During the Guptas and later eras, it became more popular. The Chaturmukha Linga has been transformed into a human form of 5 faces and 10 arms with different attributes. In the early medieval period, Sadashiva was worshipped both in the Linga and human forms. The Chaturmukha Linga in Gurukul Kangadi Museum, Hardwar, and the one under the worship of Kannauj are the best examples. The life-size sculpture of Chatushpada Sadashiva is found at Khajuraho, but no description of Chatushpada Sadashiva has been discovered yet in the texts. The inscribed Vita Linga has 5 faces which represent Shiva in his Sadashiva form. Some early references to this form are found in the Kaivalya Upanishad and Taittiriya Aranayikas. Thank you very much. Thanks.